Joyce. Hey, everybody. How are you? Happy Bloomsday, everyone. My name is Meredith Myers. I'm the stand-up librarian. That means I'm a librarian and a comedian. I'm usually shushing myself most of the time. The loudest person in the library. I am not Irish either. Don't let the hair fool you. But, you know, when people think you're Irish, you go, okay, I'll play the part. Put some shamrocks on and see what happens. But we're here today because of Jeff Morris here as my co-host tonight. Wilson's Book World. What happened was I found this fabric last year and I made this hat, and then I said, oh my gosh, James Joyce, I love James Joyce. I really want to read Ulysses. And then from there I ended up doing a parody song because I like to do literary parody songs because I like to be a rock star one day. And so I did this song called Joyce Around, which matches up a 90s song called Jump Around by House of Pain, and I matched it up with James Joyce.
Jump across the ceiling, Ulysses is a band book. Someone's popping double, yo, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the book home, see it, read it, home, there's a hunk, and I got more rhymes, and Lucky's got tons. Boy, do I love those marshmallow pots. I get more than my fill, at my mom and my pops. I came to get down, so get out your books and Joyce around.
So I was a bit of a hypocrite jumping around with shamrocks on, talking about James Joyce, and I didn't even know what Bloomsday was. So here we are, a year later, celebrating Bloomsday in St. Petersburg, Florida, at Wilson's Book World. So thank you, Jeff. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's a Monday night. We're trying to get lit here. Get lit. Thanks to Guinness, J.J. Taylor. Thank you very much. They donated that for us. And I also like to thank Tiffany Razano from Wordier Than Thou. She is here tonight. Ulysses was first published in France in English. On the morning of Joyce's 40th birthday, his Paris publisher, Sylvia Beach, hand-delivered to him a single copy of the first edition of Ulysses. But it was 12 years before a reader in the English-speaking world could legally obtain a copy. In 1933, United States District Court Judge John Woosley ruled that Ulysses was not obscene, paving the way for legal publication in the United States. So we should be happy to celebrate Bloomsday because, again, it's all about expressing ourselves, and this guy worked his ass off to write this thing. I mean, you've seen it. It's huge. And the guy had syphilis. I mean, geez. I'm trying to write a book right now, and I'm like, whoa, I got a hangnail. Keeping me from writing. 50 years after the fictional date, a gathering of 5 individuals joined the first Bloomsday celebration in Dublin on record, and also consisted of a cousin of James Joyce. So pretty much it's celebrated around the world. I think it's important to educate and entertain people about the importance of libraries and literacy, but I think it's very important to have fun and have a good time, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So I'm going to bring up our first reader. His name is John Fleming. He's worked for the Times for years. He retired recently, but he's been the performing arts critic for, I don't know, how many years, John?
23.
23 years. 23 years. And when I moved back from LA and I did a show for my friend Corinne at Venues Theater, who's here tonight as well, he put me in the paper, and it really helped my show. And John has helped so many artists out there of all different types, but especially actors and performing artists. And I just thought I could not have done this without him. He's the one that said, hey, do Bloomsday event. But I couldn't do it without him being here, and I couldn't do it without him opening the event. Because, John, honestly, you've helped so many people. You deserve the stage a lot longer than what you're going to get tonight, but I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm so glad you're here, and we're going to have you open this up with the first couple pages of Ulysses.
Episode 1, Telemachus. Stately, plump Buck Mulligan came from the stairhead bearing a bowl of lather on which a mirror and a razor lay crossed. A yellow dressing gown, ungirdled, was sustained gently behind him on the mild morning air. He held the bowl aloft and intoned, "In troibo ad altere dii."
Hop, hop, a little horse, hop, up again, sir. How many miles to Dublin town? 70, sir. Will I be back by candlelight? You will, and back again, sir. Hop, up, a little horse, hop, up again, sir. And then you tell the baby, we're going to be late for dinner, we have to hurry. You go, hop, hop, little horse, hop, up again, sir. How many miles are up down? 3, score it, 10, till I'll be back, can you a little, and back again. And the baby's either laughing hysterically or weeping, depending on your skills.
Tiffany suggested because I was going to read Ulysses, and she said, why don't you tweet about it while you're reading it? Redheaded women buck like goats on May 16th, and then I got like 10 followers just from that line alone. And then they're like, we want to see a photo. Do you have an Instagram?
Episode 2, Nestor. You, Cochrane, what city sent for him? Tarentum, sir. Very good. Well, there was a battle, sir. Very good. Where? The boy's blank face asked the blank window. Fabled by the daughters of memory, and yet it was in some way, if not as memory fabled it.
This is episode 3. Open your eyes now, I will. One moment. Has all vanished since I open and am forever in the black phone. I never heard of these words. Good grief. Basta. Well, I know that one. That means enough in Italian.
The next reader is very special to me. Yesterday was Father's Day, so I couldn't help but to ask my dear old dad to come up here and read.
Leopold Bloom ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and fowls. He liked thick giblet soup, nutty gizzards, a stuffed roast heart, liver slices fried with crust crumbs, fried hen cod roe. Most of all, he liked grilled mutton kidneys, which gave to his palate a fine tang of faintly scented urine.
By lorries along Sir John Rogerson's quay, Mr. Bloom walked soberly.
Martin Cunningham first poked his silk-hatted head into the creaking carriage and, entering deftly, seated himself. Mr. Power stepped in after him, curving his height with care. "Come on, Simon." "After you," Mr. Bloom said. Mr. Dedalus covered himself quickly and got in, saying, "Yes, yes."
Men, perched on high stools by the bar, hats shoved back as the table is calling for more bread, no charge, swilling, wolfing gulpfuls of sloppy food, their eyes bulging, wiping wetted mustaches. A pallid, suit-faced young man polished his tumbler, knife, fork, and spoon with his napkin. New set of microbes. A man with an infant's sauce-stained napkin tucked round him shoveled gurgling soup down his gullet. A man spitting back on his plate, half-masticated gristle, gums, no teeth, chew it.
Nice wine it is. Taste it better because I'm not thirsty. Bath, of course, does that. Just a bite or two. Then, about 6 o'clock, I can... Six. Time will be gone. Then mild fire of wine kindled his veins.
He repeated to John Eglinton, New Gathered Frown. Pièce de Shakespeare, don't you know? It's French. The French point of view. Hamlet, ooh, the absent-minded beggar, Stephen ended. John Eglinton laughed. "Yes, I suppose it would be," he said.
In between them, where? Between two roaring whirls they swirl, and I shatter them, one and both, but stun myself too in the blow. Shatter me, you who can. Bawd and butcher were thy words. I say, not a while, a look around. The next one was a little more whimsical. Numbers it is. All music when you come to think. 2 multiplied by 2 divided by half is twice as 1. Vibrations, chords are those. 1 plus 2 plus 6 is 7. Do anything you like with figures juggling. Always find out this is equal to that. Symmetry under a cemetery wall. He doesn't see my mourning. Callous, all for his own gut. Muse mathematics. And you think you're listening to the ethereal? But suppose you said it like, Martha, 7 times 9 minus x is 35,000. Quite fall flat on account because that's where the sound is. And my third one is very brief, but my real love, which Meredith drove her crazy during the interview, my real love is Finnegan's Wake, which is his last and probably the most difficult book, even though, Ulysses is touted that way. But I just love Finnegan's Wake. And this is, I find it the greatest book of the 20th century. And this because of just the way he puts words together. And this is my favorite line from my favorite book of the 20th century. And I just thought, when I read it, it was just so charming. May moon she shines, and they twit and twinkle all the night, combing the comet's tail up and right, shooting pop guns at the stars.
few light taps upon the pane made him turn to the window. It had begun to snow again. He watched sleepily the flakes, silver and dark, falling obliquely against the lamplight. The time had come for him to set out on his journey westward.
Glad we were able to read a little bit of Finnegan's Wake and of Dubliners, of course. But yes, let's get back to Ulysses.
So we turned into Barney Kiernan's, and there, sure enough, was the citizen, up in the corner, having a great confab with himself and that bloody, mangy mongrel, Gary Owen, and he waiting for what the sky would drop in the way of drink. There he is, says I, in his glory hole with his cruise-keen lawn and his load of papers, working for the cause.
It was darker now, and there were stones and bits of wood on the strand and slippy seaweed. She walked with a certain quiet dignity characteristic of her, but with care and very slowly because Gertie McDowell was... Tight boots? No, she's lame. Oh, Mr. Bloom watched her as she limped away. Poor girl. That's why she's left on the shelf, and the others did a sprint.
Disho Holles Emus. Disho Holles Emus. Disho Holles Emus. Send us bright one, light one, Horhorn, quickening and womb fruit. Send us bright one, light one, Horhorn, quickening and womb fruit. Send us bright one, light one, Horhorn, quickening and womb fruit.
Whistles, call and answer. The call.
Wait, my love, I'll be with you.
The answers.
What about the stable?
A deaf-mute idiot with Google eyes, his shapeless mouth dribbling, jerks past, shaken in St. Vitus dance. A chain of children's hands imprisons him. The children.
Kithog, salute!
The idiot lifts a palsied left arm and gurgles.
Inhaled with internal satisfaction the smell of James Rourke's City Bakery. Situated quite close to where they were. The very palatable odor indeed of our daily bread. Of all commodities of the public, the primary and most indispensable. Bread, the staff of life. Earn your bread. Oh, tell me, where is fancy bread? At Rourke the baker's, it is said.
What did his limbs, when gradually extended, encounter? New clean bed linen, additional odors, the presence of a human form, female, hers, the imprint of a human form, male, not his.
This contest, we're looking for about 3 or 4 people that want to come up here and give their best Molly Bloom reading. It's only about 3 lines. You don't have to be a female. If you guys want to rock this, by all means. John Fleming, since you're the performing arts guy, will you be the judge for this? You know acting better than me, honey. Okay, so stand right there and watch these amazing performances.
And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said yes, yes.
And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said yes, I will, yes.
And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said yes, I will, yes.
And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said, yes, I will, yes.
And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said yes, yes, I will, yes.
The redhead wins? Thank you, John Fleming, for judging that. That is amazing. Guys, it's hard to follow that, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to bring up my co-host, Jeff Morris. Jeff Morris, I'm going to have you come up here. Tiffany Rosano, if you don't mind coming up here.
I don't know, Meredith and I have collaborated before, so when she asked me to get involved with the Bloomsday event, of course I had to say yes. And if you know me at all, you know I like to kind of stay quietly behind the scenes as much as I possibly can. But I'm in charge of, yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm the founder of Wordier Than That. We're a local literary arts organization, and, you know, we just promote local writers, promote local literary events, and just do lots of really cool stuff.
I too would like to thank everybody for coming out. This is our first attempt at a Bloomsday celebration. But by all accounts, it seems to be a wonderful success. I hope everybody had a great time. I know I did. And we're going to kind of cap the evening off with Meredith. And without further ado, I think she's about ready to...
Check it out, check it in, let me begin. Reading is a win, battle me, that's a sin. I will tear the stacks up, patron better back up. Try and play the role and the whole staff will act up. Get up, stand up, come and throw your books up. If you got the feeling, jump across the ceiling. Ulysses is a fan book, someone's popping double and you're all bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the book home, see it, read it, calm, there's a hunk and I got more rhymes than Lucky's got charm. Boy, do I love this marshmallow pie. I get more than my fill, and I'm on my pops. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your books and Joyce around. Joyce around. Joyce around. Joyce around. James Joyce, let's get down. Joyce, 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 Joyce. I'll read your ass like Daniel Day. With 3 Oscars down, make Dublin as a play. Word to soccer moms and those wearing Toms. I got more rhymes than Ronald's got songs. And just like Finnegan's Wake, I've returned. Don't censor me, Gabriel Byrne, cause I got novels and you ain't got one. So if you come to battle, bring a Kindle. But if you do, you're a fool, but I duel to the death. Don't step to me, knowledge is wealth. Joyce has a skill, come get your fill. Cause when I shoot to read, I shoot to thrill. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your books and Joyce around. Joyce around. Joyce around. Joyce around. James Joyce, let's get down. Joyce, 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 everybody read. Joyce, Joyce, everybody read. Joyce, Joyce, everybody read. Joyce, 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 yo! This is dedicated to James Augusta Ulysses Joyce. So if you're not reading them, grab a book, punk.